Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody? How we doing tonight? What's going on? What's new? Good to see you guys. Thanks for joining me tonight. Sorry, guys, trying to get the camera straight. Welcome back, everybody. I swear I just saw you guys 15 minutes ago. Maybe not that soon, but it was just a bit little while ago, I should say. So great to see you guys. Hold on, guys. My camera is not working correctly. Oh, I see what's going on. There we go. All right. Come on in, everybody. Get comfortable. Grab your coffee, tea. Well, at this point in time, your Coke, your beer, your vodka, whatever you guys got. Grab some popcorn. Come in, get comfortable, have a seat. Tonight, guys, is episode 5 of the series, the True Crime, True Stories in Hollywood, folks. Tonight, guys, we are looking into the Conjuring. Now, I did realize something after I put this out the other day as a choice, which it doesn't really matter because it's still a very interesting story, and I guess you could look at it in a sense as crime. It's not really true crime, is what I'm saying. But I'm trying to stick to stories that are based on actual crimes that have happened, so on and so forth. But I mean, it is what it is, guys. There's a paranormal uh like a backfill to this that's paranormal, which is kind of another side of what we do, what I do in some senses. So regardless, and it is entertaining at the very least. Hopefully, at least for you guys, it is. So hopefully you guys enjoy yourselves. Let's see who we got here with us tonight. Looks like Mama Bear's here. Good to see you, Mama Bear. I know you won't be here long, but it's good to see you either way. Thank you for joining us tonight. Mrs. M, welcome back. Good to see you. Good to see you. T2014, welcome back. Good to see you as well. Let's see who else we got. Miss Cece's in the house. I was wondering where you were at today, my dear, the sweetest lady on the internet. We thought maybe you played a little too hard for your birthday yesterday and you was trying to recover, but it's all good. It's all good. You're here now. Faux Popper, my brother, what's up? What's happening? Thanks for joining us tonight, bro. I was um, Wandering Orphan or Dobermom or Miss Nikki, whatever you guys want to call her. She was supposed to join me tonight, but she's feeling under the weather, so she will not be with us tonight. So Drift, wannabe 10. Welcome back, brother. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us again. Miss Brandy, as always, you are here. Always here. Brandy's always here, folks. I can never. Sometimes she's even here before I am. What's up, Dover Dad? Thanks for joining us tonight. And as I just explained that whole message, so I appreciate you, bro. Hope you're having a good night. Maybe that sushi wasn't good, or I don't know. She said you guys went sushi. She showed me a picture. It looked like there was some spirits there going along with it. Maybe the sushi and the alcohol didn't mix together. Maybe that's what's going on. I know I didn't do sushi when I was drinking. Didn't mix for me, so I was just not a fan. That maybe that's it. Who knows? Whatever. Either way, thanks for jumping in and letting everybody know, Dober Dad. I appreciate you. She didn't eat anything today. Well, she showed me a picture of sushi. Said she was going to get sushi, or was eating sushi or some shit. Oh, something like that. Where'd it go? She sent me that. Said she was going to get that earlier. So that's kind of what I thought. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I'm in the middle of sushi. My only thought on the other was when we were talking about something. Either way, it's no worries, bro. She's sick. She's sick. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Good golly, Miss Molly's in the house. What's up, my kitty cat sister? How are you? Good to see you, Molly Cat. Yeah, we ordered it, and her tum tum was too upset, and she didn't drink her drink either. Well, it is what it is, man. Like I said, I know around here at least there's some stuff going around. It has been for a while, but people get sick. It's that time of year. Not a big deal. Hope she gets better. Sushi. Well, actually, that shit looked pretty good. I like that kind of stuff. Um, I'm a seafood freak, guys. I love seafood. Come on in, everybody. Get comfy, please. Please, come on in. I'm not gonna get nothing rolling until I get you all in here. Nah, I got you. A lot of people don't do sushi, man. I can get. It took me a while. I've always loved Asian, and I've told you guys. Even with that, I could not bring myself to eat sushi because I knew it was just. I knew what it was. You know what I mean? And most of the places that sell it that are not like top dollar type Japanese restaurants or sushi restaurants, it really isn't what they say it is. It was rice rolled up with tuna fish out of a can or something like that. It's not raw per se. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? Breezy, welcome. Good to see you. Just got over it myself. You can blame me. We eat sushi every Friday. There's many different kinds. Not all is. Yeah, right. That's why I said not all of it's raw. I had to find. Um, I was kind of a wuss with it in the beginning. I would only eat like the California rolls or the spicy tuna roll or something like that, which was not raw. You know what I mean? Very slowly progressed into the real deal. I had like squid and octopus type. 1 second, folks. Well, hold on. Sorry, my granddaughter dropped something and was having a panic attack. No big deal. Yes, that's the point right there. And that picture that she sent, that looked really good, by the way. Looked super fresh. Um, it has to be extremely fresh because if they even if it's frozen, folks, and they pull it back out, it ain't the same. We have a place around here called Mizu. It's a authentic Japanese restaurant. It is I would eat there every single day if I could afford it. First of all, second of all, if my stomach would allow. It's expensive as all hell, but it's worth every cent that you spend on it. I'm telling you, it's amazing. Now we had some Chinese restaurants around here that were like the Chinese buffets. No. They had the buffet that had whatever food you're gonna get, and then they had a sushi bar, right? And that would sit there. And this was before I would eat sushi. One of the reasons why I didn't. So I'd go to the buffet and I'd walk around and I'd get what I was getting and I'd look at everything else. And I stood there one day and watched. And I don't want to gross nobody out, but I watched them walk out to the sushi bar. And as I walked and I turned and looked, they cut open something and there were maggots in it, folks. And they grabbed it off the table real quick and they exchanged it with something else. And I was like, nope, I'm done. Bye. Took me a long time to be able to eat sushi after seeing that. I'll be honest with you. So we are lucky to have a great place around it. Yeah, you are, seriously, because we only really have one place as far as Asian food goes, Japanese, I should say, and sushi, and it's clear out. It's probably 40 minutes from me. Um, that's it. We have a lot of small, like just Chinese restaurants, Thai or Vietnamese food or Korean or stuff like that. Different variations of Chinese food, but it all pretty much tastes the same to me. But sushi wise and stuff like that, you gotta travel a little bit. Now, if you go towards Cleveland, it's all over the place, and it is banging, folks. It is banging. But I'm not going to Cleveland. If I go to Cleveland, I'm not going for Chinese or any kind of sushi. I'm going to Little Italy, as I told you before, and I'm indulging in the cannolis and the real deal, authentic stuff that I can no longer get because my grandma ain't alive no more. It's an acquired taste too, Brady. So you either like it or you hate it. It goes one way or the other. There's no in between there for sushi, guys. Well, I guess my granddaughter just left without saying goodbye to me. Or is she coming back in? Usually she's all over me before she leaves. One second. Come here. I love you. Be a good girl. I'll see you tomorrow. Say bye, everybody. Tomorrow. Say bye. Wave. Say bye. Get your hoodie on. All right. Anyways.
Bye, Joe.
Sorry. What is up, PPR? Welcome back, brother. Good to see you. Pamela Gribben is in the house. Come on. Welcome back, Pamela. Who else we got here? Breezy, I see you. 17 people moving right along. Where's Miss Heather at? Where is Miss Heather at? I think I just talked to her. I thought she'd have been. Yeah, I hope you guys are into this one tonight. This is one of my favorite stories of all times, guys. Thank you, Mrs. Diamond CC. She is my heart, my little one, my Junie girl.
Make sure you say goodbye to everyone.
Where you at, Heather?
Say goodbye to everyone from outside.
She did. Making sure everybody got their notifications. And thank you, Miss Brandy. There it is already rolling. My mods are quick, guys. Again, if you would like to donate to support the channel and or myself, please feel free via PayPal here, Cash App, and or the Venmo app, guys. And I am telling you, it is so much appreciated at this point. You leaving? I'm going to miss you. You're a video. They didn't want to see the inside of your mouth. Tell everybody bye.
Bye.
I'll see you tomorrow, sweetie. Be a good girl tonight. I'm always sad when she leaves. Like the sun goes down when she leaves. You know what I mean? It's crazy. All right. I got Miss Sherry a notification. Cece's already here. Where's Miss Gina? Gina hasn't been. Come on in, Miss Gina. I think that's that. Popper's here. I was wondering about you, Popper, if you're still in here. I didn't see you this morning. You're always in here usually. Dago always has good content. Well, thank you, Breezy. I do appreciate it. I doubt that sometimes. Most of the time, I don't feel comfortable with it, but I do try the best I can for you guys. I see you, bro. I was wondering, dude. You're always usually popping at least once in the morning. I didn't see you all day. Miss Sherry's here. Thank you for joining us, Sherry. Excuse me. And like I said, most of you guys don't usually get, at least quite a few of you don't get notifications lately. So just got to make sure everybody's all meatballed up in the green. We got quite a few new members, folks. Again, like I said this morning, we have blown away the number 50 as far as members go. David James, Miss Gina. Let's see, who else did we have? PPR gifted some memberships out, and we are rolling in the memberships, folks. We got some meatballs floating in that sauce. And Mama Bear's even joining us tonight, and she usually can't. We should take a poll and see how long Mama Bear lasts before she's out, because we're close to her bedtime, guys. We'll see what happens. I'm just teasing. Mama Bear is a hard worker, folks, all the way around. She does a lot for me. She's got her kids, her husband. I mean, she's working hard. I know you heard it. I know. She's a hard worker. That ain't no lie. That's why I appreciate her so much. She does so much for us. I figured it's that time. No worries. Nodding off. As long as, listen, it's okay if you nod off. It's a problem if I nod off. There's where the problem is. Come on in, folks. Get comfy, please, please, please. All right. And again, share this out, folks. If you think anybody be interested in it, share it out. You know, it's an interesting story. Anything that is linked to Ed and Lorraine Warren has got to have an interesting side to it, in my opinion, and it does. It very much does. This is one of my, like I said, I'll be honest with you guys. I love horror. I always have. Friday the 13th and Halloween and all those fun movies, Nightmare on Elm Street. None of that stuff ever scared me. Okay. Um, there's a couple movies in the 70s and 80s that they definitely scared me. These movies caught my attention. This is real horror, in my opinion. Okay. And there's a crime. Well, not with this one, but the movies we've been doing, there's a crime basis to the backstory on it that's true, which is why we're doing it. As I said to you guys, somewhere down the line, we're going to just completely engulf the whole paranormal side of things. And just, it's going to be, you know, the True Crime Paranormal Cafe, the True Crime and Paranormal Cafe with Dago. So we're going to get to that point somewhere down the line because I have a lot of paranormal history and, you know, backstory with me. So there's no point in not adding it in. Right now, we're kind of sticking with the true crime, trying it out to see how you guys like the paranormal stuff here and there too. So, you know, that always helps. Always helps. Did she eat it? Okay.
She had my bra.
Well, that helps.
No, not really. She looks really bad. I'm worried.
Well, it's probably dehydrated, eh? Double the pleasure, double the fun. What commercial? That was a Double Mint commercial, I think, for gum. I haven't heard that in years. Remember those commercials for Double Mint gum, folks? That the twins would always have, and they'd have the twins in the commercial, and they'd be riding bikes or whatever. Double the pleasure, double the fun. Yeah. Double the meatballs. That's right. I got 21 folks in here. So, I don't know how many of you guys actually did see this movie, guys. Let me see. There's probably, I think there's 3, maybe 4 of these now. Okay. Each one of them are good. And each one of them are based on, and we have the Annabelle series that goes along with that. It's just a whole conglomeration of things. Miss Brandy said she synced it. She synced it. Did it scare you, Brandy? Did it scare you? Did it scare you? Yep, I am that old. I remember. Welcome, Melissa. Yeah, there was some good stuff in this one, guys. But these movies. Stop. I know. I want the meatballs too. Dude, I've been craving meatballs for 2 days now. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't typically crave meatball sandwiches. I do. I do, right? Like a couple of days with a big whole bunch of like provolone cheese melted over top of it on a hard roll. My God, I could destroy that right now. Anywho, let me see what we got here. Mind you, this movie came out in 2013. The first one did. Great movie, by the way. Great movie. For those of you that haven't, go check it out, please. Please go check it out. It's an awesome movie. It is. It very much is. Let me find it. Let me find the start of it for you, folks. Nope. What the heck is it? I had all this set up a few minutes ago, and then I exited out of it for a second, and I have to go back to it now. One second. All right. Miss Cece's here. All right, get some volume going. Again, guys, please let me know if you get have issues with volume. I'll show you guys a little taste of what this is. Who wants to play hide and go clap?
This was
That it was, folks. That it was. So this one didn't scare you, Miss Cece? Not even a little bit. Gotta be just a little bit. All right, folks. I'm gonna break some things up for you. Robot? Who's a robot? Oh, it's my internet again. Sorry, folks. All right, I think we're gonna have people. Again, this is. I have a couple of different things I'm blending together to show you this, and I'm gonna introduce you to. Am I still robot or am I okay now? Domo momi gato, Mr. Roboto. Yay, nay, yes, no. Am I good or am I not good? Before I get anything going, I don't want you guys hearing robots. Are we good? Give me the heads up. Give me the thumbs up if we're good. And by the way, guys, hit that like button on your way in. And remember, folks, to leave some comments for me, please. Everyone, I cannot find a way to add comments to the actual live stream when it's live. I just can't. I wish I could, other than what we have here on the side. Me and Mama Bear looked through everything we could find. There is nothing, guys. If there's a way to do it, somebody tell me, because we can't find it, nor can we figure it out. So it is what it is. All right, good. So we're good. We're good. All right, moving along. Welcome, April. Do I need to actually wait for a couple more minutes for some other folks to come in? Now, the version of the story that we're going to talk about is going to be told via the daughter of the family that actually lived in there, the PERRINE family. And she helps it along, I should say. And it's in parts of it, I'm going to show you. It's a good a good way to hear it from the horse's mouth, in my opinion, guys. Tonight, Miss Melissa, we are talking about the true story behind the movie The Conjuring, the original Conjuring. I don't know if you've seen that one or if you haven't seen that one, but and the funny thing is with all of the Conjuring movies, each one of them is based on a true event. There's another one, I think it's the second one, that happened in England. Okay. And then the third one is called The Devil Made Me Do It. And that's completely. Now, there was a couple things that I'm going to show you that were embellished in the movie for the movie. I'll show you exactly what they are, and I'll explain it to you. And, Hollywood does what Hollywood does. That's why. So, that's what it is. I know I wanted to be different. Miss Brandy, Insidious. Yeah, that was another one. That one scared my wife. Like, those movies were jacked up, guys. I'm sorry, but they really were. Let me see if this is it here. Hold on. Green Puff's in the house. What's up? What's up? Thanks for joining us. What's really scary is the guy looking through the window. Yeah, that would be kind of creepy, wouldn't it? That would definitely. I can see the window behind me in the camera, but thanks, Green Puff. That you almost got me. You did. Almost got me. All right, guys. There's like I said, a couple different versions of these things that we're going to go through, some videos to show you guys the story. Are you out, Mama Bear? I figured. We love you, Mama Bear. Thanks so much. I hope you have a great night's sleep, and I will talk to you tomorrow sometime. Thanks again for everything. It's okay. Yeah, I can see the window right behind me. That would be kind of trippy if I looked up and seen somebody looking through that window. I'll be honest with you, especially out here where I live. Is anyone else home alone? Are you home alone, Molly Cat? Welcome, 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 Miss Pamela Gribben. Thank you for joining us. I'm trying to wait just a couple more minutes here to see if anybody else that I think would jump in might jump in. You think, as I explained, Miss Nikki will not be joining us or Dober Mom tonight because she is not feeling well. Dober Dad came in and explained it. I am until Taekwondo is over. Hiya! Daniel-san. Miss in the corner. I didn't do nothing wrong. Why you putting me in the corner? Better back off, Brandy. Back off. Have a great night, Mama Bear. So now I got Molly. Where's Miss Heather at? That's who I'm waiting on. Sunshine. No more sunshine. The sun went down. But thank you for being here, Sunshine. My hubby is taking it with her son. Cool. That's actually really cool, April. I like hearing that. Oh, it's really cool. Heather, where are you? Heather, can you hear me? Faja, can you hear me? I guess Miss Gina must be busy tonight. I do appreciate all you guys jumping back in here with me tonight. We literally were just here a couple hours ago. Hey, as long as we can stand to be around each other this much, that's all that matters. Well, Heather might be busy. Oh, well, can't have everybody. It's okay. What is that in the corner? It's in your room, Dago. What are we talking about in the corner? The only corners I got is this one and it's water jugs. I hope so. I mean, truly, guys, I hope you're enjoying this. I know I'm kind of an amateur at this kind of stuff. I'm learning as I go. Production value to different things, and the shock effect of putting it out a certain way. I'm trying to teach myself. I never got into this kind of stuff and learned anything about it, so I'm learning as I go. It's kind of generic, and I'm sure it's kind of cheesy at times the way I do things. What's the white light flashing on the wall? Oh, that. It's not the corner. It's a look. I'll show you real quick. I showed you guys this the other night. I thought. It's a candle that has a battery in it. It's one of those fake candles flickering. The other one, the battery went dead in it over there. It's just a decoration, that's all. Calm down, guys. Don't get scared already. Don't get scared. It's okay. Whatever, Cream Puff. You're a comedian. We have so many comedians in here. Mrs. M can see it. All right, folks. Let's get this one up over here. But no, I thank you, Mrs. M, for saying that, and I really do hope you guys are enjoying this. I do the best I can with it, and like I said, I'm learning as I go to make it more professional looking, as I should say, or try to at least. I'm not Scorsese or Steven Spielberg or any of that, but I'm just trying to make it, the best I can for you guys. To get you wanting to come back and see more. That's all. That's funny, Molly. And you know why, but that's funny. So, all right, guys, let me bring this on and get rolling. Talk your face off. Oh, what did I start? We do it because we... Thank you, Mrs. M. I appreciate that, too. I know that, Molly. And Drift said I appreciate that, Drift. I, too. Thank you, bro. David's probably sound asleep at this point. It should be, at least. It's 7:45 in the morning over there. I do. I mean, I'm very self-conscious about stuff. You guys should know that. So, if you haven't been able to tell. But anyway, moving along, we're off. Oh, wait. I forgot I muted it. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Always something, isn't it?
The 2013 blockbuster, The Conjuring. If you enjoy true crime, mysteries, and true stories, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Now, let's get into it. The real story behind the movie franchise The Conjuring begins with a rural farmhouse in Rhode Island. Built in 1736, it has gone by many names over the years, including the Dexter Richardson House and the Old Brook Farm. When the Perrine family purchased it in 1971, though, it was known as the Old Arnold Estate. In January 1971, Roger and Carol Perrine, along with their 5 daughters, Andrea, April, Christine, Cindy, and Nancy, moved into the Old Arnold Estate, located in the Rhode Island suburbs. A modest 14-room historic farmhouse situated on a 200-acre property. It seemed like an idyllic location to raise 5 children, and the perfect place for an all-American family to live. At first, everything seemed great. 13-year-old Andrea, the eldest of the Perrine girls, had her own room while her sisters, 11-year-old Nancy and 10-year-old Christine, shared another. The 2 youngest girls, Cindy and April, also had another room to themselves. The house was big enough for all 7 members of the Perrine family, providing ample space. However, the family settled into life at the Old Arnold Estate. Roger and Carolyn hadn't forgotten the final words of the man who had sold them the house. When dropping off the keys, he had mysteriously cautioned them to leave the lights on at night. Perhaps it had been a friendly warning from one neighbor to another. After all,
Now, that being said, I want to tell you guys that was true. Okay. When the Perrine family moved in, they met their neighbors 2-3 days later, I think it was. And the neighbor said, it is a beautiful home. It's very rustic, blah, blah, blah. And you have a beautiful family. And he said, do me a favor, please, for the sake of your family, leave the lights on at night. And that was it. And of course, Mr. Perrine was like, what? What the hell? Why is everybody saying to leave the damn lights on? You know, and everybody else in the world's like, yeah, okay. That's not going to happen because, you know, it runs your electric bill up. Multiple people said this to these people. Okay. Now I'm going to show you the spots where things that the movie from Hollywood weren't true. But 92% of this movie that you're seeing and hearing is true, guys. They were very true to tale when they made this movie. So that's why it was so creepy to me.
America in the 1970s was rife with serial killers and gruesome crime sprees. But the man's sinister tone had sent chills down Roger and Carolyn's spines. And try as they might, they couldn't get his strange caution out of their minds. It was where unexplainable things started happening inside their home. The house itself creaked, slammed, and whispered. Carolyn also started noticing that things frequently went missing, with the broom seemingly moving by itself from place to place around the house. More than that, though, she heard scraping sounds against the kettle, despite the fact that no one was in the kitchen at the time. She would also find small piles of dirt in the center of the kitchen floor, even though it had been thoroughly cleaned only a few hours before. In an interview, Cindy Perrine, the second youngest daughter, said, things would either be moved all around in a different position than how I left them, or they would all be shoved up underneath the bed. And I would go to my sisters. Of course you'd go to your sisters. Hey, what'd you do to my toys? And they'd say, nothing. Why would I mess with your toys, Cindy? No one discussed any of these events until much later. Andrea also had her fair share of disturbing experiences. As the eldest of the 5 sisters, she was woken many times in the middle of the night by her siblings coming into her room, huddling with her on her bed as they sobbed their hearts out. 8-year-old Cindy, in particular, claimed that she could hear a menacing voice in the room that she shared with April. A voice that whispered, there are 7 dead soldiers in the walls, over and over again. Almost immediately after moving
I did,
in,
Sherry,
all
I
five
did.
sisters noticed their house seemed alive with spirits.
And she loved it.
Although
Ew.
most of them were harmless, if not benevolent, the ghosts, and even befriended one of them, calling him Manny. According to Cindy, when we first moved into the house for the first 2 months, there was a woman that came and kissed me every through the home, and there were even apparitions as well as doors slamming shut on their own. Another article published in
Right,
August
Randy.
1977 in the Providence Journal reads, Mrs. Perrine said she awoke before dawn one morning to find an apparition by her bed. The head of an old woman hanging off to one side over an old gray dress. There was a voice reverberating, "Get out, get out. I'll drive you out with death and gloom." All these incidents soon proved to be
There's
true
our
events for the
Heather.
Perrine
Welcome,
family.
sis.
And in a bid to understand what exactly was going on in their home, Carolyn allegedly began reading up on the history of the old Arnold estate. In her research, she purportedly came across information about how the property had at one point been owned by the same family for 8 generations, and then died under unexplainable or horrible circumstances, including drownings in a nearby creek, murders, and suicides. 8 generations of one extended family lived and died in that house prior to our arrival. Andrea Perrine would later say some of them never left. According to the WJAR News, the Black Book.
Now, you guys heard this house was built in the 1700s. 8 generations of people lived and died in this house. That's insane, folks. 8 generations. Wow. I'm just saying, that's a lot of people, guys.
Of Burrowville, the town's former public records book, reveals that over the course of its existence, the property had been host to 2 suicides by hanging, 1 suicide by poison, the 11-year-old Prudence Arnold by a farmhand, 2 drownings, and the passing of 4 men who froze to death, in addition to other tragic losses of life. However, claims regarding
That's
Prudence
insane.
Arnold's death have been highly disputed, with local historians pointing to the fact that her official death record indicated that she died in Uxbridge, Massachusetts, which meant that she didn't lose her life on the farm. Furthermore, the record states her cause of death as her throat was cut by W.E.K.
Thank you,
initials
Brandy.
that contradicted the name of Bill Norton, which Andrea specified in her book. Some suspect Prudence's name and horrific death was included to help make sense of the reported hauntings. The parents were forced to remain in the old Arnold estate, as they had spent most of their money moving in and couldn't afford to relocate. The parents had to stay, and soon enough, the benevolent ghosts were replaced with a more violent and visible force. By far, the most sinister and the most harmful spirit in the old Arnold estate was a woman named Bathsheba Sherman. She was responsible for
I
glass
agree,
suddenly
Cece.
shattering and objects inexplicably being launched across the room, smashing dangerously into walls. This spirit seemed to be particularly furious at the presence of Carolyn Perrine. One night, as Carolyn sat in the living room, she suddenly felt a piercing pain in her leg. Looking
Now, right here at this point, guys, Bathsheba was considered a witch. Okay. That was added by Hollywood to the movie. So that part isn't true. Now, there were spirits that were doing this, but Bathsheba, the witch, quote unquote, was not one of them. Okay. Just so you guys know, in the real life story.
down, she saw blood trickling from a small stab wound in her calf that looked as if it had been caused by a large needle. According to Andrea Perrine, whoever the spirit was, she perceived herself to be mistress of the house, and she resented the competition my mother posed for that position. Bathsheba constantly tormented Carolyn all throughout the 10 years the family lived in the old Arnold estate. The torture was both emotional and physical. Aside from being stabbed in the leg, the spirit reportedly hid Carolyn's things all the time, which made her feel as if she was going insane. She also frequently felt drained and exhausted, making her heightened emotions even worse. Yet, on the other hand, Bathsheba was reportedly kind to Roger Perrine. The website History Collection even claims that he only saw Bathsheba's sweeter side, with loving caresses and innuendos. Later, the screenwriters and the director of the 2013 film, The Conjuring, would be most inspired by Bathsheba Sherman's torments, and based the majority of the film's plot on the horrors that she inflicted upon the Perrine family. While she may seem like a figure created specifically for Hollywood and the big screen, Bathsheba Sherman was very much real. Born in 1812 in Rhode Island, Bathsheba Thayer married fellow Rhode Islander Judson Sherman in Thompson, Connecticut on March 10, 1844. The couple were fairly well off, and while Bathsheba stayed at home, tending to their son, Herbert, who was born in 1849. Some say that the Shermans had 3 other children, all of whom died before they reached the age of 7. However, no census records have been found to confirm the accuracy of these claims. Still, an unofficial record of the Sherman family tree claims that Judson and Bathsheba's 3 other children were Julia, born in 1845, Edward, born in 1847, and George, born in 1853. It's highly possible that these kids died before the next census was carried out and therefore not recorded. But again, no hard evidence has been found that either proves or disputes their existence. Despite the quiet and unassuming lives that they led, the Shermans were often the subjects of the local rumor mill. The townspeople believed that Bathsheba was a witch, or a practitioner of the dark art.
And this is where the fictional side of it came in. Hollywood took the rumor that it was that and used it and ran with it. So, like I was saying.
And they felt their suspicions were confirmed when a baby in her care died under mysterious circumstances. When an autopsy was performed, the medical examiner found horrifying evidence that the base of the infant's skull had been pierced with something long and sharp. Many claimed that this particular object had been a large sewing needle, and it had been done as part of a satanic ritual. Naturally, the locals started gossiping even more about Bathsheba and her alleged involvement with the occult, which spurred the court to take action against her. But with no proof that she had been the one to drive the needle into the infant's head, Bathsheba was quickly cleared of all charges and declared innocent. However, this didn't stop the townspeople from believing that the baby had been used as a human sacrifice to the devil. Bathsheba died on May 25, 1885, 4 years after her husband Judson passed away. The internet is rife with rumors that her body literally turned to stone the minute she drew her final breath. And there are also numerous posts online claiming that she had died from an unexplainable form of paralysis that left doctors both befuddled and frightened. The true cause of Bathsheba's death may never be. The grave can still be seen and visited today at the historic Baptist Cemetery in downtown Harrisville, Rhode Island. Because of the lack of evidence regarding her alleged satanist activities, some believe that Bathsheba Sherman wasn't actually the malevolent spirit haunting the old Arnold estate and the Perrines. As well, Bathsheba did not actually live in the old Arnold estate, though the house existed. Rather, she lived in a nearby farm on the property. According to the Providence Journal, there are people who claim that the spirit violently haunting the old Arnold estate was actually Mrs. John Arnold, who had purportedly killed herself in the farm's barn in the 18th century. However, this argument is highly disputed, given the fact that historical records show that the only Mrs. John Arnold to have died in this manner had passed away in the 19th century, specifically in 1866. Moreover, she had committed suicide in her own home, situated about a mile away from the old Arnold estate. The link between the farm and the spirit of Bathsheba Sherman has never been proven. In fact, it had only been a suggestion made by famed paranormal investigator Ed and Lorraine Warren. Naturally, they couldn't pass up the opportunity to investigate the strange and malevolent things that were happening to the Perrine family in the old Arnold estate. In the film, Carolyn Perrine reached out herself to the famed paranormal investigators to ask them to look into strange occurrences in the family's home. In real life, though, it was a family friend who contacted the Warrens, who, at the time, were working on a case in nearby Connecticut. We never actually contacted the Warrens. Our friend, Barbara, went to see them in Putnam because they did things all around the area. They were informed about it, called Andrea Perrine. The Warrens reportedly made multiple trips to the property over the 10 years that the family lived there. Unlike in the film, though, they weren't of much help. For instance, the hide and clap game, a chilling scene from The Conjuring that saw Lily Taylor as Carolyn Perrine being tormented by a spirit, was allegedly much worse in real life. The hide and clap game was based on the games of hide and seek played by the daughters in real life. The horrible incident playing hide and seek occurred about 6 months after they moved into the old Arnold estate, when the young Cindy decided she would hide in the woodshed. In order to remain unfound by her sisters, she climbed into a wood box with a simple wood panel for a lid. Yet, reportedly, when she pulled the panel over top, she found she couldn't move it back off. Apparently, Cindy started screaming and shoving against the lid. She began panicking when it wouldn't budge. After 20 minutes of her terrified that she would suffocate in the box, her sister Nancy found her and easily lifted off the lid, freeing the hysterical Cindy. After hearing about the family's experiences, Ed and Lorraine suggested it was the spirit of Bathsheba Sherman who was haunting the parents. Carolyn had shared how she had been stabbed with a needle-like tool, and the Warrens pointed out the fact that Bathsheba had been accused of doing the same thing to a child while she had still been alive. The Warrens were also said to have claimed Bathsheba Sherman had murdered her daughter as a sacrifice to Satan, establishing black rituals before taking her own life in a bid. They also said that she had hung herself, which was why Carolyn Perrine often saw apparitions of a woman with a noose around her neck. In the Conjuring film, the Warrens managed to successfully remove the spirit of Bathsheba from the home, saving the lives of Carolyn and April Perrine in the process. But the real-life Ed and Lorraine Warren weren't that helpful. During one of their visits, they reportedly conducted a seance, accompanied by a priest and a medium, in an attempt to communicate with the spirits that had been tormenting the Perrine family. In the middle of the ritual, Karen allegedly became possessed by the spirit of Bathsheba, speaking in tongues and levitating. The 5 Perrine girls were banned from the seance. However, Andrea claimed to have secretly witnessed it. Writing in her memoir, "I thought I was going to pass out. My mother began to speak a language not of this world in a voice not her own. Her chair levitated and she was thrown across. Andrea's younger sister, Cindy, had also been hiding with her in order to watch the events unfold. She recalled the incident as dreadful, saying that the Warrens tried to help, but we essentially found things got worse around them." Concerned for his wife's mental stability, Roger Perrine threw the Warrens out and banned them from investigating the hauntings any further. A 77-year-old Roger Perrine later recalled, possessed. Her entire body was distorted, and it lasted several hours until they demonized her, and then I threw the Warrens out. The family's torment continued until finally, in 1980, Roger and Carolyn were able to sell the old Arnold estate, settling in Georgia to rebuild their lives and never look back. Throughout those 5 years, though, the 5 girls did all that they could to escape the hauntings. However, one of the later owners of the old Arnold estate, a woman named Norma Sutcliffe, adamantly disagrees with the parents. She had purchased the property in 1987 and to this day claims that she has not been haunted, neither by the malevolent Bathsheba nor the benevolent spirits the family claimed preyed on them. Norma had been living on the property when The Conjuring was released and even sued the film for damages caused by fans who frequently trespassed on the property. In 2019, the old Arnold estate was once again put on the real estate market and was purchased by Corey Heinzen and his wife, Jennifer. Unlike the previous owner, the couple claimed that they often experienced paranormal activity, including faraway footsteps and doors slamming. However, none of their ghostly encounters came close to what the Perrine family had experienced in the 1970s. Unlike the Perrines and Norma Sutcliffe, Corey and Jennifer have welcomed the spirits haunting the old Arnold estate with open arms. When they moved in, they claimed to have slept in the small wing of the home for the first 4 months, saying they didn't want to overstep their boundaries with the natural. When they fell between the main house and the small wing, though, they were awakened by a mysterious, shadowy figure. Corey recalled, "It was just peeking around the door, like this, all black, just looking at us. I remember looking at it and Jennifer was like, 'What the hell is that?' I said, 'That's a shadow figure,' and it moved real fast. She said, 'Awesome,' and we high-fived each other." His wife, Jennifer, added, "It wasn't scary. It wasn't an evil presence. We were just excited." Even with the Heinzens asserting the
What's
presence
up,
of the
Austin?
supernatural
Welcome,
in the
brother.
Arnold estate, there are still
Everybody
many
left.
who doubt its existence. Despite their
Not
critics,
everybody,
though,
but
the
a few of
parents
you
remain
guys did.
adamant that their story is true. In an interview with USA
be bored with
Today,
it.
Andrea said, "Both my mother and I would just as soon swallow our tongue than tell a lie. People are free to believe whatever they want to believe, but I know what we experienced." Lorraine claims to still feel traumatized by the events that transpired in the old Arnold estate, saying that the things that went on there were just so incredibly frightening. "It still affects me to talk about it today." One of her most outspoken detractors, though, is
Good
Stephen
to see you,
Novella,
brother.
a neurologist and president of the New England Skeptical Society,
Thanks for
a
joining us,
longtime
bud.
critic of the Warrens and their work. He was once quoted as saying, "The Warrens are good at telling ghost stories. You could do a lot of movies based on the stories they have spun, but there is absolutely no reason to believe there is any legitimacy to them." Despite the criticism, the Perrine family was supportive of the movie. In an interview, Andrea Perrine stated that, "The cast is perfect. The children resembled us as children and
Yes,
had our
Heather, that's
personalities as
correct.
children." She further praised director James Wan, saying that he managed to capture the essence of what she and her family had gone through. Many continue to be fascinated by The Conjuring and the alleged real events that inspired the horror movie, despite the movie having been released years ago in 2013. In a top-rated comment on Reddit, user Non-Corporeal Entity writes, "The Warrens were well known for fabricating stories and details in order to sensationalize a haunting for media attention and book sales. Every haunting they investigated was claimed to be a demonic possession. It's that all of the people involved in their most famous cases were in financial trouble and at risk of losing their home. Despite these naysayers, though, many continue to believe that the..."
All right, that part of it is just whatever. You guys really don't care to hear or see that. So one moment here. Let me get some other pieces of stuff I had for you guys. Where did it go? All right, this is you saw that they were all girls. The kids were the Perrine sisters. All right, let me pull this one out. All right, hold on a moment. This was an interview with her that I wanted you guys, the one sister I wanted you to see. Kind of interesting. Now this footage came through a channel called Studio 10 that they interviewed her with. I would love to sit and talk to her. I'm telling you guys, I really would. Really would. I believe that this sister is the only one that will actually have these conversations with people, because the other kids were really like traumatized. This would be Andrea that we're going to be hearing from. I'm sorry.
Supernatural horror movies of all time. Do you remember that opening scene? And that demonic doll.
Sorry, guys. I'm trying to make sure it goes from the very beginning.
Well, The Conjuring is one of the most terrifying supernatural horror movies of all time. Do you remember that opening scene? And that demonic doll. It was nightmare stuff. And what is even scarier, film based on a family's real life experience. It was Andrea Perrine's story, and Andrea joins us now from her home near Orlando in Florida. It's nice to have you with us, Andrea. I hope there are no spooky people in your home right now. Listen, for those who haven't seen the film, in 1971, you, along with your parents and 4 sisters, moved into a charming old house in Harrisville on Rhode Island, unaware that you were not alone. How much of what we see?
Well, we moved in because my mother found this beautiful farmhouse to raise her 5 young daughters. The real story in my trilogy, House of Darkness, House of Light, is so intense that Hollywood wouldn't touch it. The Conjuring is based on the case files of Ed and Lorraine Warren, who investigated the house and came to it 5 times over the course of a 1.5 years. But we lived in it for 10 years. And it is, they were terrified to tell the real story. In fact, one of the producers said, what would be the point of making a film that no one stayed to watch till the end?
It actually sounds like the line we've got you on is haunted at the moment, Andrea. Just tell us what exactly happened at this house that you lived in for 10 years.
What happened is that we moved into a farmhouse that was really, well, I describe it as a portal cleverly disguised as a farmhouse. There was so much activity in the house and so many spirits. And when you think about it, 8 generations of one extended family lived and died in that house, and some of them never left.
Are you, because you were young, you never considered it was a figment of your imagination? You really, what was the most frightening moment for you?
Well, the most frightening moment was the night that the Warrens showed up at the house, and they had a whole entourage of people. They had a priest, mediums, cinematographers, an audiographer, and they insisted that my mother was being oppressed 1 step away from possession, and that we needed to have a seance in the house so that the medium could determine who the culprit was that was haunting and taunting her, so that she could dispel that spirit from the house. The Warrens admitted that they were in over their heads long after this occurred, but my mother almost paid with her life that night. As far as I'm concerned, what the medium did was spiritual malpractice.
Just so you guys know, the Warrens, for those of you that don't know who Ed and Lorraine Warren are paranormal investigators and occultists. Lorraine is a medium or a sensitive, kind of like, as I explained, my wife was. Okay. And Ed was just an investigator, as I am. And they've done multiple homes and areas and things that were haunted, and they're very, very good at what they do. And as she's saying, they've admitted themselves it finally at one point, this was too much for them. Okay, they went to Amityville, just so many different places. What's up, Strike? Good to see you, buddy. This one right here, they said was way over their heads. They didn't know what to do. This one traumatized Lorraine to the point where she had to stop doing this for a while. One of the movies we saw, they kind of led on to that. That's true, guys. This one really emotionally destroyed her for a while. She locked herself in her bedroom at one point after this and didn't speak to anybody for months. Okay. It was like at one point, Ed had said in the one interview that he thought he was going to have her committed at some point until she finally came around. And even after that, she wouldn't talk about something she saw in this house is what caused her to feel this way and to be this way. And she wouldn't talk about it. And I think they actually put that in. I don't know if it was this movie or one of the movies, but they put that in one of the movies. That I think it's Berna Farmiga played her. And yeah, so that's real, folks. And these two were top-notch paranormal investigators. So that'll tell you how crazy this house was. It gives me chills thinking about it, because I have been in homes, I've done these things, and I've seen certain things, nothing like this. Okay, I'll be honest with you. If I would have ever encountered something like this scenario, I probably would have quit doing it, just because it's too much, folks. My wife became which is very easy to do. You guys can do it in moments. Ordained minister, so that we could bless certain areas that we did in ourselves to ensure, we were kind of safe, I think, say it that way. But regardless, just giving you guys some insight into what we're talking about and they're talking about.
You don't go into a supremely haunted house, open wide the doors to the netherworld, and invite everything to determine who's causing a problem. The medium ended up collapsing unconscious on the table. My mother was picked up and thrown from the middle of our dining room to the center of the parlor, and everyone that was present in the house that night heard her skull hit the floor, and we all thought we saw her die that night.
And even when your family bought the house, the previous owners told you to always leave the lights on at night. Why was that? And why did you go through it?
Well, because my father did not know how to interpret what Mr. Kenyon was saying. As far as my dad thought, Mr. Kenyon, the owner of the house, was warning him, bringing the rooms on the first floor and us all sleeping upstairs. Father interpreted that as a warning not to let your kids come tumbling down the stairs at night, to leave the lights on so that they could get around this very old house that was new to them. And it wasn't until later, when we began meeting people in the area, that we understood why Mr. Kenyon had said that. And that was because he knew there was activity in the house as well. And I believe that in all the decades that he and his wife lived there, she had died about 6 to 10 years, I believe, before we moved in. And he was there alone. And I think he's trying to warn my father that if he left the lights on at night, that it would hold the spirits at bay. But that did not turn out to be the case with us. They were active 24/7.
It does sound terrifying. Tell me, in all those years, was there ever any scientific evidence of what was happening?
Well, I consider our experience, each one of us individually, the 7 members of our family, to be empirical evidence. In fact, I had a quantum physicist review my books, and he only wrote one line, that
Thank you, Brandy.
It's empirical evidence of the existence of the 4th dimension. Now, if you presume that I didn't sit in front of a computer for 7 years of my life, to the exclusion of all else, to concoct a big, fat, elaborate lie and then force my family.
What she's talking about right now, folks, I want to give you a heads up real quick. As I've told you guys all to go over and check out PPR's channel, okay? Tuesday night when I was in PPR's channel, as part of his Zeke, the conversation was about quantum physics and whatnot. And we talked about this stuff, okay? I have a lot of knowledge on this kind of stuff. Like the etherical plane and how do you put it? I'm trying to say things you guys will understand. Some of this stuff doesn't make any sense. And like levels of consciousness and, you know, things like that. And that's what she's talking about. And it was approved. Her book, the stuff she wrote about, a quantum physicist looked at it and said, okay, you got something in this house that's doing this. Okay. Yeah. They had non-stop hauntings, folks. And there's levels of hauntings. There's poltergeists. There's etherical hauntings. There are regenerative hauntings. You know, different variations. I can go on. Okay, but just to explain to you, this is the real deal scenario, guys. Okay, you know, not a little poltergeist throwing a couple things around. There were apparitions, full-blown, full torso apparitions seen, etc., etc. Okay, so this was no joke. This was not just somebody saying, you know, my house is haunted, ha ha ha, tee hee. No, this was the real stuff. Okay. At some point, it was talked about that it was made up, that they, you know, illegally did this and did this, that blah blah. No, none of that is true, folks. What you see, like I said, in the movies, it has been made a lot more dramatic in some senses to make it, you know, it's a movie to make you want to see it. But this was real, period. There's no two ways about it.
Memorize it.
Actually, at some point, there's another creator that I follow very, very vividly in hardcore. I've spoken to him a couple of times. It's called the Grim Collective, okay? And they did a tour through the house live, and we're going to go through the house. I'm going to show you guys the house and different situations live in the house with them. And it's quite interesting, folks. It's part of this whole thing I want you to see. So I'm excited about that part.
If you're assuming that my family tells the truth, then our experience is empirical evidence. And because we much scientific evidence compiled since then as well. There have been numerous people, different investigators, some extremely well known, that have investigated the house and have come away with film footage that is shocking.
And you've written, as you mentioned, extensively about this House of Darkness, House of Light, a trilogy about your haunted childhood. Is there anything more to come from this, or is that?
I've read every one of these books. If you guys like to read, check them out, folks. You can get them on. You can get like the digital books on like Kindles and stuff. You can go buy the books if you have bookstores. You can check them out. My library has them. Look into it, folks. These books are amazing. I'm telling you.
Hopefully, the end of your interactions with.
There will never be an end to my interactions with paranormal. I have day-to-day experiences, as do everyone in my family. I mean, once that door is opened, it never closes again.
Well, I can certainly say that Channel 10 is still haunted by the ghosts of Yasmin is getting married. The Real Ghostbusters of Australia conference is taking place this Friday until Sunday. For more details, you can head to melbourneevents.net. Andrea, thank you for telling us, and we really appreciate it.
All right, folks, there's that. Again, this story mesmerizes me. It always has. Of all of the horror movies, horror stories that I've read, watched, this one, it blows my mind, folks. It just does. I can't get past it. All right. Now I want to give you guys a little look into Miss Lorraine Warren. 1 second, guys. But again, for those of you that don't know who the Warrens are, most people do. Right. Some don't. All right. All right. And again, Mrs. Warren was one of the paranormal investigators that, you know, was there 5 times over that period of that time. Hold on 1 sec, guys. I'm getting some stuffs. Hold on. And then I have, at the end of this, folks, I have an update about a case we're working on. It's kind of interesting. It should be, for those of you following it, should be interested in it too. So, so stick around. It will be interesting. Let me see something real quick here. All right.
And this is my home. We've lived here, I guess about 40 years now. This is where everything started. It started work.
Something awful happened here, Ed.
What is it? Whatever Lorraine sees, feels, touches, takes a toll on her. A little piece each time.
It's been quite a career, and I'm still involved. I'm still involved with hauntings, you know, and helping people get through. It's a very delicate thing with certain people because they're very terrified and very frightened. But there's a lot of people that don't believe.
You have a lot of spirits in here, but there's one that I'm most worried about because it is so hateful.
Okay. So let's go in. I'll show you the house.
You guys were accepted.
Oh yeah, yeah, we were. We didn't do anything without it.
Sorry, he's doing his
Here we go. And probably one of the most haunted places in the world because of the things that are in here. Everything in here has been taken from some place where people
Conjuring.
are killed or maimed. So many ways. So it's tragic for me, you know, to even go in. People are very, very interested in the museum. And there's some people that are afraid to even go in. Right here is a conjuring mirror. Everything and anything in here we have investigated. Don't ever touch anything. And if you do, let me know. This is the worst thing.
Annabelle.
That doll. I'm not gonna stare at it though.
For those of you that don't know from the movie Annabelle, Annabelle was not the doll that you saw in the movie. Annabelle, it was a Raggedy Ann doll, the real Annabelle doll, which is right there. They have, it's insane. I never did understand it, but the Warrens, everything that they investigated and helped with, if they found a portal or a vice that could have been haunted or whatnot, or something that caused the haunting, they brought it back to this quote unquote museum, stored it in here, locked it down, and they watched over it for the entire rest of their lives, guys. And now it is being secured and watched over by their son-in-law. So very interesting, very interesting. But again, this is Annabelle that you're going to see over here. That's this Raggedy Ann doll. That's the real Annabelle.
So you can take, but I'm not going to stare at it because that has done bad harm on a lot of people. You have to conjure the spirits in order to get it. You know, you're not going to get it by just walking around here.
And that's the one that sort of did a little bit.
Yes, it is. That's the Annabelle doll. Yes. And then it's circular embolism, which is prayers, are said all the time, you know, to pray. Definitely. Yes. Oh my God, yes. I can't do that.
It's November 1st, 1971. I'm sitting here with Carolyn Perrine, who has been experiencing supernatural occurrences.
The children were badly affected, really badly affected. That was just a place, honey. That was a very, very, very bad place. It's not easy. It's not easy, you know. You know, you see things, it's a lot more comfortable for me.
When the music stops, you see him in the mirror standing behind you.
I should have said there was a jump scare there. Sorry, guys. Right. That is Miss. Well, it was. I'm sorry, Miss Lorraine Warren has passed away. You guys all still here? Throw me a 1 in the chat. Let me know you're here and you're not sleeping. Sorry, folks. I hope I'm not boring you. I hope this is interesting to you guys. I do. One moment. All right, Miss Sherry said yeah. All right. Sunshine Rowdy. What's up, Rowdy? Melissa? Thanks for joining us tonight, Rowdy. All right, folks. We're gonna go through. Again, this is the Grim Life
Multi-dimensional puzzle.
This is the Grim Life Collective, folks. I've been following him for a long time. He's a great creator with the things he does. So I follow everything he does, and he went with his girlfriend to the actual Conjuring house, walked through, did some interviews with Andrea Perrin, and then they went to Bathsheba's grave. So we're gonna check that out real quick, and I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves so far. Give me one moment here. All right. And we're off.
It's a perfect night to do this. It's wonderful.
So 2 different for what we try to do here at the Grim Life Collective is to try to separate from fiction, not bog down our viewers with a whole bunch of factoids. Anybody and everybody can go online or read a book and talk to somebody and read all kinds of interviews and watch interviews. But one thing that people can't do, most people, is to actually see a place for themselves, right? And get that experience. In about a week's time, my wife and I are going to be in Rhode Island visiting the house that you grew up in. And there's a whole bunch of crazy stories about this place.
Melissa, if you have activity in your home and you have a way to record it, if you can do a live scenario, I would be glad to go through it with you, talk to you about it, check it out, listen to anything. I mean, I really would. I have no qualms with that. So just know that.
Yeah. There's a movie that came out. Everybody knows it. It's called The Conjuring.
Right.
That is loosely,
very loosely,
based off of your family's time in that house. Mm-hmm. But if I remember correctly, if I'm understanding this right, it's from the Warrens' point of view.
Yes, the film, all the films are based on the case files of Ed and Lorraine Warren. They just happened to start with our story first. And the reason that they did was because Ed, prior to his death, had described our experience, my family's experience in our old farmhouse, as the most, and these are his words, the most intense cases that they studied, all of the different investigations they conducted. Lorraine, his wife, if she would make sure, make sure that our story got told. When we moved away from Mrs. Warren sought us out. I mean, it was before Google. I don't know how she found us, but she did. And offered my parents really a boatload of money to tell our story, whether in print, on film, because my mother had said she didn't want, anything to do with what Mrs. Warren said. This is life altering money. And
Come on.
That my family had
Sorry,
bought
guys.
on the new farm that my family had found in Cherokee, in the cellar of the house while she was doing a load of laundry. And when Mrs. Warren called back the next day, she said, absolutely not. The answer is no. Please don't contact me.
Sorry, guys.
Right now we're walking up to the house. That's it right there.
Come on.
Your
Internet.
But like everything
God,
that
this is
we've
irritating.
encountered here in New England, just property, and walk up to the front of the house. You definitely don't get things like this out in California.
No, I love it.
You're feeling a little.
And I started getting a little paranoid, panicky, because I can just feel this like deep impression, like now like a thumb pressing on the inside my throat like that, and I couldn't swallow. I don't know if I should mention anything. I don't want them to think that I'm being a scaredy cat or paranoid, but just my palms are really sweaty, which I know is a sign of anxiety, but my heart rate is fluctuating a lot stepping onto the property, and I say stepping onto the property here as far as like my moods and my health part.
Why do you say that, Heather? Yeah, I think it's my internet, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to do. I don't. I'm so sick of this. You just gave someone a heart attack guarantee. Why do you say that, Heather? Excuse me. Okay, the connection. It's so intermittent. It's ridiculous anymore. It seems to happen more when I'm doing this now, and it's so irritating. You got a ghost in the machine. Yep. All right, let's try it.
I just want to be clear. We're not here to do any kind of ghost hunting. Tales of experiences inside this house. But we're here just to document that we had the opportunity. Like, where would we put it, though? I don't know, but it's pretty freaking amazing. I'm liking this long walk up to the house. Okay.
All right. My apologies once again, folks. I swear to God, I'm going to sue this internet company. I really am.
Awesome. Wait, and
All right, hold on. This is absolutely just pure ignorance that this happens. I am so please, what a joke. Oh, I don't know what that's for. Sorry. I didn't hear it. Sorry, Heather. All right, so we're paused. Thank you, Brandy. I don't know what the deal is, guys. I really don't.
affect us. I'm
Absolutely flipping ridiculous, guys. And guess who I'm calling tomorrow? Again.
you.
You're welcome.
And happy
Halloween. Come in and toured the house a few times, and it's got amazing activity.
No, Sherry, it's my damn internet. I'm watching the signal go in and out, in and out, in and out. You have no hope. You guys have no clue how angry this makes me. I'm serious. I can't understand this. I have nothing hooked up to this. This is just insane. I'm gonna do something right now while I'm live with you guys and show you this real quick. Oh, of course, no internet. Hell, I'd probably get a better signal off my damn hotspot on my phone. This makes me so mad. Hold on. I'm gonna show you what's going on while we're live. See that? That is my internet speed. And they swear to God that what's up, Popper? They swear to God that I have a full signal when they're here. At the very minimum, I should have 400, guys. See it? It's insane. This pisses me off so bad. Well, the solar storms are causing my internet to do what it's doing, and I would have to pick it. I would have been happier if it did this morning than now. You know what I mean? This is just ridiculous. 270 is sick.
The house, the history of the house is they're amazing.
We're going to attempt to do this whenever we move into the house.
long sequence.
The long sequence, this
So much as I'm sitting here, there's like a thing on my screen that shows me what my signal is. And it goes from 1 to 3 to 1 to 3 to 1 to 3. So it's just going in and out, in and out, in and out. It's so flipping irritating, guys.
through the front door that the family would have walked through. So they moved around the entire house, recreating, according to Andrea, she carried the first movie to the house, and the first time she witnessed something paranormal. A couple weeks ago, I did an interview with Andrea PERRINE in her home. She invited us into her home, and I sat down with her for almost 3 hours talking about this house in great detail. You're going to see, I'm a little nervous, you're going to see clips of her talking about this house in certain areas that pertain to that interview.
Okay.
You haven't walked through the house yet.
No,
just
well,
parts
I mean,
of
I
it.
walked into the house, but
Okay.
I haven't walked the house.
But you haven't gone upstairs to the warm room, Andrea's bedroom, different things. Okay. We're not going to bog you down with a whole bunch of facts. We're just going to let the house speak for itself. We're just going to tell you a few different things about the house, right?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, nervous.
fingers and bones crossed.
Okay.
Here we go.
I walked in with a big box off the back of the truck. It was in the middle of a swirling ice storm that we moved because, you know, when you're good old hardy Yankees and it's moving day, you move. You can't let the weather get you down. Not in Rhode Island, you can't. It seemed to take forever there. And when we finally got there, Dad threw open the back of the moving van and handed me a box marked kitchen. Mom had gone in the side kitchen door with my baby sister, April. But the other four of us were big enough and strong enough to be. I walked into the door leading into the parlor and then took a hard right into the dining room, and Mr. Kenyon was packing up the last of his belongings from the china cabinet. It's kind of built right into the wall.
We left it open.
I'm definitely gonna have to look into it because it's insane.
So allow the camera to just.
Sorry that you got to watch
There
this
we go.
under these
Now you can leave it
circumstances.
open. We can shut it. So this room right here is the first room that they would have walked into.
By the way, folks, as I had told you guys this morning, got your message. I hit you back. Appreciate that. This is the channel I guys had told you guys this morning I was in last night, Publicly Buzzed. This is him. Welcome, brother. It's great to see you. This is a little off the beaten path of what I normally do for true crime. But either way, welcome. It's good to have you here. Again, guys, Miss Heather, if you could drop that link again for those of us that are in here tonight that weren't in here this morning. That way, I would really like you guys to go over there and check out his channel. It's called Publicly Buzz, and it's a great channel, folks. It's a lot like ours, freedom of speech. You know, again, as long as you're not being racist or insulting anybody or picking on anybody, you can say pretty much what you want over there. And he keeps it real, folks. So please, please go check him out. Throw some love that way. He does a great job. And subscribe, folks, please, for me, if you could. Great channel. Very, very good stream last night. I hope you did really good last night, brother. I hope you keep going like that. So thanks again for jumping in with us. I appreciate you. Thank you, Heather. There we go. And my apologies once again, guys. My apologies once again.
Carrying the moving boxes. Now, when we sat down with Anne, times you came through.
Thank you, Heather.
Into this room. Now, if you it says that in the center of the room, Mr. Kenyon, the guy who they bought the house from, was in this room. She said hello.
That makes
And
sense
I
too.
saw him and I said, "Good morning, Mr. Kenyon." And I put the box down on the table to walk through the room into the front foyer, into the kitchen.
Thank you,
To
Brandy.
bring the box. And so I'm standing there. He looked at flesh and blood to me, as you do. And as I passed him, I said, she said, "There's nobody with Mr. Kenyon. It's
Saw him as well. He was flesh and blood. I said, "Hey, did you see that man?"
Did he say
He-
hi back?
He didn't.
Oh,
He just stood there.
period.
And meanwhile, came in with a box, and she saw him too.
Oh, wow.
And went into the kitchen after she greeted Mr. Kenyon, politely passed the man standing in the room, and said, "Mom, who's the man with Mr. Kenyon?" And my mother's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm sure we just assumed it was a neighbor who had stopped by to say goodbye, but he appeared to her as well. And then Cindy walked in, and as she passed him, she saw him as translucent and asked Mom what was going on with the man in the dining room. And at which point, I'm sure my mother just threw her hands up, packing Mr. Kenyon's things that were still in the cupboards of the kitchen. He wasn't nearly ready to move yet. We had to unpack our boxes and use the paper and the boxes to pack him up. He wasn't ready to go. So we heard it, and then Nancy came in and leaned over to her and said, "Sit. Did you see that man with Mr. Kenyon?" "I did, but he just disappeared." And that's when we knew there was something very different and unusual about this house. And somehow we knew not to say anything about it. A few hours later, after the moving men had brought all the beds upstairs and everything was spread out all over the house, and we had to use that van to move Mr. Kenyon's belongings out, he took a walk. For the sake of your
Thank
family,
you, Miss
leave the
Molly.
lights on
Tiffany,
at
what's
night.
up, sis?
Hold on one second. Hold on 1 second.
Anyone know
One
something else
second,
about this room?
guys. Sorry, I gotta pause this for a minute.
In the movie The Conjuring, she is the oldest
Sorry,
daughter.
guys. I don't know.
She
I'm
mentions
having
that
technical difficulties.
during
And
this
I
seance, she saw things happen. She saw actions she didn't know.
We're good to go.
And it scared her and it scarred her for life.
If this would stop doing it, it's saying
Here's
that I
the
have
part
low
that really
internet.
gets me.
A low
I already
internet
walked through
signal.
this house, found it calm except for one spot.
Okay. Are you gonna tell me? No, I'll try and see if I can get it.
Now I'll tell you. I got goosebumps just thinking about it.
Where'd you hit me back?
She just said,
bro,
that while the exorcism, this wall step. Watch it. Now, there's even one thing.
yeah, I'm gonna check my RAM,
at one point,
stuff like that. It
the
just
chair
keeps
was kind of
to get some
thrown
new
against
RAM sticks.
across the room, and she thought that her mother died.
It's ridiculous. It's not.
And the Warrens just doing what they're doing.
Membership canceled.
Dude,
Hold on. It may have been one of the memberships you bought. No. Here's what I think happened. One of the memberships you bought went to somebody, I saw it today, that is no longer here anymore. And they probably canceled their membership, so the money came back to you. So that's probably, that is. You're still a member because you're still green. So you don't worry about that, brother. I see what may have happened with that. So no worries. That's what I think happened because I saw who it went to. I think it was yesterday. So you're fine, PPR. Good deal, bro. Computers without a souped-up graphics card will have trouble rendering. Yeah, I thought about that, bro. I put this together. A friend of mine, a tech consultant, helped me do this and said it should be fine for streaming. You know what I'm saying? And I had to upgrade the hard drive at one point, so I think I need to upgrade my RAM now. So obviously, I'm gonna have to. That's not a gaming computer; it's just a computer. So I guess that's my next step. So got to work on that. That's okay. Don't worry about it. It's with that person, like I said, that it went to, the one I saw is no longer with us. So that's probably where it happened. Yep, exactly, brother. And like I said, I appreciate you. Where you said you hit me back, I can't see where. I cannot see where. Sorry though. No, that's all right, bro. You did fine. Email. All right. Thank you. No apology. My apologies. Let me try to get this moving on, guys. As horrible as it is. Thank you.
Just
appreciate the info, Zero, for real, bro.
Terrifying you and your family.
Yeah. And the movie make it seem like a couple months, if not a full weeks.
I would say my mother was possessed very briefly during us that went so horribly wrong that it almost cost her her life. But my mother was not possessed. My mother was attacked by an entity that entered our either there happened. Michael, it was the worst experience of my life. I was hiding in the hallway. It was transpiring. She was collapsing in my arms. I was afraid the highway was going through the door.
Oh, maybe not.
As this was occurring. It happened over the shortest amount of time you can imagine, maybe 2 to 3 minutes. My father didn't want anything to do with it. He didn't want the Warrens there. He thought that this was a disaster waiting to happen, that it was tempting fate. I mean, at that point, he had to admit that something else, because it was well. But he thought this was a very concerned medium that they brought in. They brought in a priest, a medium, a sound spirit. You know, a whole crew of people showed up at our house, basically unannounced. The Warrens had called ahead. You know, there were no cell phones then. They called from their home in Connecticut and then drove to Rhode Island. And when my dad came home, my mom told him that he had just come off like a long road trip. He was exhausted. He didn't want anything to do with it. And when they all showed up at once, and apparently his head blew off. He's like, oh no, we're not doing this. This is not happening in my house. It's not. And 4 of the 5 of us were there. Nancy had gone to spend the night with a friend. It was a Friday night. But all the rest of it, 1973. What happened that night fundamentally altered every single person who witnessed it. What happened that night made me understand that there is pure unadulterated evil in the world, and invited everything in so that she could determine who the culprit was in the house. When she did that, something didn't. She was in agony. She was sitting in a very big captain's chair at the table. Her body drew up into a ball to the extent that you would expect to hear her bones breaking. She started, first her head dropped, like she had gone to sleep. And then she threw her head back and her eyes popped open and she started looking wild-eyed around the room like she didn't know who any of these people were. And then she started to growl and cry. And then she started to speak in a language that does not exist on this planet. I levitated and flew back down onto the floor. All the candles her chair levitated about probably 18 inches off the floor. And in a split second, parlor from the middle of our dining room into the middle of our parlor. And when the chair hit the floor and her head, that I had seen my mother pass away. Everybody else thought the same thing. My father ran to her, stopped him from going to her, and my father turned around and punched him right in the face, brought him to his knees, blood pouring out of his nose and his mouth. It was a mess. And he went to my mother's side, and she was unconscious. Cindy's crying and collapsing in my arms. We're standing behind a door that's only open that much. So as Mom got thrown into the other room, we pushed it open a little more because the lights were out. Nobody could see us. And I could see my mother laying on the floor, motionless, and my father hovering above her, and Lorraine running to her side, and the priest over in the corner of the room literally quaking. And
this room right here was her sister's room. Now, Andrew slept. Now, here is our next ghostly tale. They all witnessed things. They saw things. They heard things. Now, in the movie, Bathsheba, the witch was the one who was haunting them.
Sorry, guys.
It's not true. It's all Hollywood. They believe that the woman who was haunting them was a woman, last name Arnold, who not not a property. So I point this out because all the girls have reported that the figure, the woman that would come and talk to them in the middle of the night, or she had a broken neck. And they lived here for 10 years and all kinds of different research. It's the only one that makes sense. Now, I know it kind of sounds a little like The Haunting of Hill House, right?
Yeah, bent neck lady. Yeah. But that is what happened.
Athena, welcome.
Or you strangulate.
Now I'm going to back up into Andrea's room.
Okay.
And sister so much every single night that they might as well have had their room in here with her. They spent living in this room with her.
I know where everybody's going. Oh well. Sorry, guys.
Within a couple of nights of living in the house, I had the room right over the parlor. My sisters, Cindy and Christine, were sharing the middle bedroom, and Nancy and April were sharing the bedroom over the kitchen. I don't know if it happened the first night, I don't recall, but I know by the second night that we lived in the house,
Anybody that would want to donate to support me or the channel,
and I
there's a link for PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo, and I thank you so much ahead of time, folks.
It's never been so cold in my life.
Be very helpful. And I guess I got to start looking for
hundreds of years old with insulation.
New RAM for my computer. So
and we had come from a nice, cozy, compact little Cape Cod.
Gotta buy that now.
Cumberland. That had a really good heating system, and none of us had ever known me. And she crawled in. I threw the covers back and just said, "Well, of course, honey, come on in." And she said, she said, "I hear voices in my room all around my bed." Well, Christine talked in her sleep sometimes, so I just assumed that it was Christine having a dream and verbalizing.
Thanks so much
and
for
she
that,
said, "No,
BBR.
it's not Chris. She's sound asleep." She said, "I hear voices all around the bed, and they got louder and louder. I don't know how you couldn't have heard them because all the doors were open between the bedrooms." When you go to the house was built on to over time.
Okay.
So there's actually an outdoor window on an inside wall between my bedroom and the center bedroom.
Okay.
So we left all the doors open because my parents said, let the heat circulate the best that you can. And there was no upstairs, just a couple of wrought iron vents in the floor from the first floor up to the second so that the heat could rise. I thought I was going to freeze to death, honest to God. So I just assumed Cindy was coming to bed with me because she wanted my bite. Sorry, voices. I had to ask her, what you hearing? And she said, "They're all talking at once. They're all saying the same thing at once, over and over and over again." And her poor little thing, she was only 8 years old. Her voice was trembling. And I asked her what they were saying, and she said, "There are 7 dead soldiers buried in the wall. There are 7 dead soldiers buried in the wall." And they said it over and over and over, and it got louder and louder until she literally, and when that didn't work, she bolted out of the room and came to me.
Something else, right?
The house is definitely a lot more spacious than you.
Thought I heard something over there, like a voice, and I was like, wait a second, there's people downstairs.
Yeah.
People. So I can hear scream.
And I can hear there's 4 other people in the house. They're in one room at the far end of the house, and I hear them because I can tell that this one is too. But it's the wood, the materials that were used are very insulating, and it's
Like I said earlier, I walked through this house with Corey and Jen are the current owners, and we walked through, and I told him what I knew of the house, and he confirmed it. And you did down some ladder, and after walking here,
I mean, I felt discombobulated. I'm wondering if what I'm feeling is because the floors are very uneven, they're very warped, or they're slanting a lot. Won't right away make me feel sorry. Where I felt the most sensations and on the property, not in the house.
okay.
But I have felt like my, you know, if my head was squeezing on the
April.
sides of my temples. And,
Honey, you don't need to do
really
that.
woozy down
I'll
there.
figure something
I was
out.
moving, standing still.
I'm gonna lose
spot.
my mind. I'll tell you that.
And I felt my body the way it wanted to be moved because it was being moved in that way. I don't know how else to explain it. So my body wanted to spin with it. I kept getting the urge to do this in the library, or I feel like my dizziness stuff,
Right.
if anything. And yeah, I love twirling horror videos. That's the thing I like to do, but I've never felt my body physically want to be compulsed to twirl. It was kind of weird, but and then in the driveway, I felt like I had
The neck.
I felt like I had a thumb pressing into my throat.
When I walked through here with Corey, I mentioned how calm I felt. Like I felt so at peace. Like I felt like I was laying down in a very down kind of bed. He's very quick to say, you know, it's nothing evil here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's activity, there's something going on, but there's nothing evil here. I walked up those steps with him. I felt like
heavy.
Like I was being squeezed. Like I had like you would imagine
something heavy sitting on your chest.
Like pressing, like Giles Corey from Salem, that like pressing with rocks. I felt like I had a rock on my chest that was pushing me down.
I felt that
I don't
when
feel
I
it
first got
now.
on the property. My chest felt very heavy. I had a bit of chest pain and stuff, and it just kind of kept getting worse until we got to the top of the property in the garage or the driveway, and that's when I felt this, because it felt like that, like deep in my tissue, like next to my skeleton, my throat, yeah, and I couldn't swallow. It was very strange. I don't feel like anything's attacking me. I just want to put on record. I don't feel like someone's strangling me or anything like that, but it is that I don't normally experience.
That feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the reason why he's asking her this right now and doing this whole thing right now is because she's what they call a sensitive, and that is why they're doing this. So
Broken neck.
Well, I mean, it would have been.
And part of it, they're leading on to people have said multiple times the same types of things when they come through here because of the woman that quote unquote hung herself. Okay. And it's supposed to, people have said they felt like this, like there's pressure on their neck and this and that. I don't know.
Like right here.
Right. We don't claim to be a psychic, but Jessica's very to the thing.
I'm not making fun of anybody who does claim that or feel. I seem to get sensations when I'm around certain things, and sometimes I just know things without anybody telling me anything and having no reason or way to explain why I know what I know, and I know it for fact. And then I tell somebody and they're like, how do you know this? And I'm like, I just do. Personal facts about people sometimes. I have very weird, I'll have sworn to have seen a film that has nothing. Well, tomorrow I'm like, and I will tell the entire film, and they're like, it doesn't come out until next month. And I'm like, dude, listen, I've been there already. Okay, I've seen this, so I don't know what to tell you. Like weird things like that. I don't know. It's unexplained, and sometimes I just feel silly telling these stories because I don't know how to explain them.
Jessica's feeling an overwhelming urge to open the closets and look inside.
And even I have to reach down to where the handles are.
People were a lot shorter when they built these houses.
I don't know why, but every time we walk the room, I felt it was very important that I open the closet. I don't know if I'm supposed to go in the closet or if somebody wanted to come out of the closet. Ooh,
well, imagine this. You know, you had these girls in this room. They you know, maybe they hid in this closet.
Or they played in here.
Right?
If I was them, I would have played in here. Yeah, because it connects.
It's like a fort.
Yeah, so the door that's on the other side of the bed opens to the other side of the closet. I feel like games are played in here, probably.
Now, the fun part. We're working on an house, or an actual haunted house in Savannah, Georgia, and every night after all the tours, we would have to go to like it was always there. Sadly, we don't have to turn off the lights here, but take that as a no. All right. Well, Jessica was being okay. I thought I lost you for a second. Watch your head and your steps. Whew.
This is like the scariest part. The stairs.
The way it's built so strange, guys.
House had the same vertical. Yeah, it was very old too.
One more walk in the kitchen here. What's happened back there? It looks pretty modern. I'm guessing that that's been renovated. It's the kitchen.
I have to say that the house, being that it's mostly in its original state, not nearly as cold as it would be for this time of year.
Right?
The outside, it's about 40 degrees, 45 degrees. And I don't know.
At the time, this wasn't the library. So I came downstairs from the tour with Corey, and I walked west here. I didn't see you. I didn't hear you all. 3 people in this room.
Yeah.
What were you doing in this room?
I think at first we were just waiting for you to go upstairs, and we wanted to be out of the way so that you wouldn't hear our footsteps and stuff, any noise. And of course, we talked about paranormal things and experiences, and they were telling me about they had these kind of, for lack of a better word, phone calls that they had done through the internet on their phone that they had some spirits responses with that were actually dead family members of theirs. So the things that they said in these internet calls or Zoom calls were very specific to them that really you wouldn't know it unless you were part of the family. And they were playing those messages. Very, very eerie.
Right now, we're standing in the basement of the farm that there's in the basement, but not in real Hollywood. Again,
An old cellar. They're very musty.
Yeah.
And there's actually an old well in the floor. There's a lot of moisture in the air.
as Jessica was saying, yes. I ain't gonna do that. And she was saying there's a lot of moisture in here, and she's right. Is Earth. I mean, we are ground level. I mean, if I lift the camera up and look out this window, I've never been inside a basement this big for a single house before.
It is a huge basement.
And there are steps. Now, they did say that these steps will take us all the way up.
This is okay. The door I originally thought we were going to go in.
Just watch your head. Look at that one. Okay.
Moving forward.
In this small cemetery.
That's just sick. Somebody did
City, the streets going through, and you know, they were
so
very well known, well established families. What brought her dignity to that one that Bathsheba had something to do in the farm, extra blaming her for everything. And because she died. She died and had a broken, and the only was Mrs. John Arnold, apparently, according to him.
We'll do it for that. Thank you, Heather, for what you do. Once again, folks, I'm sorry. It's been a shitty stream because of whatever this is that's doing this. But that, folks, is the story behind The Conjuring, the true story, I should say. One second, everyone. But yeah, that's the story behind it, guys. Again, it wasn't what it should have been because of the whole thing. So I guess I'm gonna have to start looking into RAM for my computer now. I can't deal with it anymore. I can't deal with it anymore, folks. I just can't. I hope you guys at least enjoyed the story itself, if you didn't already know it. So depressing. But anyway, excuse me. I'm trying to see here what I was gonna. As I had told you, I had some updates to give you on a case that we were working. Pretty interesting updates, to be honest with you. Thank you guys for those of you that hung with me. I do appreciate you very much. That hung out through the whole garbage of what it is that my internet or my computer likes to do, I should say now. I'm supposed to have a, hold on a minute. Okay, so as I was saying, let me see here. As you guys know, Miss Pamela Gribben lives in the UK. She lives right in the middle of where the whole Nicola Bully case is going on. Well, folks, I'd like to say let's see here. I'm going to actually pull something up here. This happened earlier. Right before I went live, I got these updates, guys. And I can't let it go by without giving it to you. 1 second, folks. I don't know, Nikki. I'm sorry, hon. I can't look right now. Let's see here.
Hey, I'm done.
Let me see here. So, Pamela, hold on. I will be right back, guys. Okay. Sorry, folks. So, as I said, you guys know where Pamela lives. I got these updates from her right before I went live. So, I got, sorry to interrupt you, massive police presence at Inskip Dog Handlers. Police helicopter is hovering, waiting on someone to update me. Plainclothes officers wonder if they looking to arrest him or intel on Nikki. And I said, who is he? She said, Paul, the partner. It's okay. No worries. I will keep you informed. Call out. Specialist search dogs were contacted by Lancashire police to assist in a high-profile search operation for a missing person. SSD sent out 2 teams, Zeus and Sturgeon, with handlers Colin Monk and Amanda Drummond. These are people she knows from the police department, I'm guessing. She's a retired police officer, as I had told you guys before. Got a Newfoundland dog and a Labrador. Just heard the police have erected a tent awaiting on a location. You know what that usually means, folks. So I think we got something going on here. Shoot. If they put a tent up, folks, that usually means that there's, you know what that usually means. So I'm kind of nervous. Are you still in here, Pamela, by chance? Thank you, Miss Brandy. Again, yeah, definitely. Awaiting further updates. Okay, Pamela, thank you for this. Typically, when there's a tent being erected, isn't that usually what they do when they find a body? At least here, that's how we do it. When they find a body, they'll put up a tent. They kind of set up a command center. They put tents up to keep things blocked out from the public seeing. Okay. Yes, Miss Brandy, thank you so much, folks. If anybody would like to donate to me or the channel, actually just to the channel, because at this point it looks like I'm going to be trying to buy some kind of a new sticks of RAM for this computer. If that's what the problem is, that's insane. So The computer tech guy was supposed to be coming out this coming week, so I'm sure that's probably what he would end up telling me too. Yes, or evidence. So there's some sort of evidence or a very possible body here, guys. I hate to talk about that. If we have a body that's coming out of somewhere, like where is the tent being erected? You said you don't have the location of the tent yet, Pamela. Waiting on location. I got you. Okay. So they got specialized search dogs. They were contacted by Lancashire police to assist a high-profile search operation for a missing person. SSD sent out 2 teams, Zeus and Sturgeon, with handlers Colin Monk and Amanda Drummond. So we have special search dogs. Somebody must have got some sort of a tip of some sort, and they're bringing these dogs to go to the spot. A lab and a Newfoundland dog. Interesting. And as she said before that, folks, plainclothes officers around. I wonder if they're looking to arrest him. And they have massive police presence at Inskip Dog at Inskip. What is Inskip, Pamela? Okay, yeah. You said massive police presence at Inskip. What is the Inskip? That one's new to me. What is the Inskip, hun? That's what we don't know here. That's a UK word or title. I don't know where the Inskip is or what it is, to be honest with you. Where Nikki lives. So they're right around their home. Massive police presence around their home. And there's a helicopter hovering, folks. Okay, we got something going down. For real. I'm looking to see if there's anything live on this. Give me a second. Let me see if I can pull anything up this way. It's a little off the subject of what we were doing tonight, but quite interesting. Inskip is a village next to St. Michael's. Okay. Hold on, folks. Let me see. They're at the house, though. That's the thing, Brandy, is they're at the house. Or around the area that the house is in. Let's see if we got something rolling here.
Yanko is tracked down and poisoned after exposing criminality.
Seems like we always have something going on after we do these series specials. I'm looking, folks. Wait a minute. Let's see here. Internal investigation is being launched. Oh, interesting. Police arrived around 1 a.m. So it's what? It's what, 2 a.m. over there right now, Pamela? 2:30? You guys, I knew it's been what, 22 days, guys, 22 days on this case, and they've had nothing. Yep, 2:35 a.m. They're exactly 5 hours ahead of us, guys. I'm looking, guys. I got Sky News Live right now. I'm trying to see if they're going to come. They probably won't, but it's in the middle of the night. You're still awake, Miss Pamela? Why? Or is it because of what's going on that you're still awake? Sorry, folks. Come on, come on. The ticker's rolling. I'm trying to see what it's going to catch. Top stories. All right. Lancashire police to conduct an internal review into the investigation into missing Nicola Bulley. Prime Minister concerned about conduct. Oh, listen to this, guys. The Prime Minister is concerned about the conduct of Lancashire police and Nicola Bulley. Police internal investigation is, and we called this. So the Prime Minister is unhappy with how the police are handling this, and they're launching an internal investigation, which means there's something scratchy going on with the police with this, folks. They stated her health problems. Yeah. Well, I mean, probably because they were being harassed, because nothing was happening. Probably won't give out info until a positive ID and the next of kin are told. Yeah, that's typically how that works. This is interesting. Do they usually do stuff like this, at 1:30 in the morning or 1 a.m., Pamela? That's kind of my question to this at this point. Quite interesting. I'll say, to say the very least, guys, this is an interesting scenario. I am going to definitely have to. No, it's because they stated her health problems and so many took offense. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. But here's the thing, folks. Even if they're launching an internal investigation, they're going to check into that. Well, who knows what else they're going to find? I mean, seriously. So I would look for me tomorrow morning, folks. I'm going to keep up with this. It's all good, Nikki. Don't worry about it. You don't feel well, get yourself better, dear. Don't worry about this. So yeah, I'm definitely going to say, tomorrow's Saturday, but with this breaking like this, guys, and with what's going on, Pamela can see these things and stuff. I would look for me to be live again in the morning, or early or late morning, maybe, at least. Very possibly, if there's something that does break overnight that's big time, I'm definitely going to be covering it, because I've been hot after something on this case. I've been looking for something to dangle for us to grab a hold of. You know what I'm saying? And we haven't had anything, guys, and that's what the problem is. So I don't know how many of you guys are left in here. You guys all probably lurked out on me and went out because it was such a shitty stream due to my stupid computer. Absolutely, Pamela. I appreciate that, dear. I really do. I really appreciate you being right there and being able to update me on this on a regular. You know what I mean? It does make a huge difference and a huge deal to me, and I appreciate you more than I can explain to you, just so you know that, for sure. All right, there's my mic. It's good to see you, CC. It's only 9:39 there. Good to know, Miss Sherry. It's same time here, Sherry. So Molly's here. I know Mama Bear was in bed. You're here, Mama Bear? Why are you here? Why aren't you sleeping? I feel bad. I don't expect you guys to be here. That was probably one of the shittiest streams I've had doing something. It was in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. It was insane. I don't get it. I don't get it. And now my signal. So I never thought about the RAM. I mean, if it was telling me that I have a very weak signal as I was doing that, and I could see it going in and out. But then I thought about how the RAM works with everything in the computer. So it's very possible that it could be working that way. Again, why are you awake, Mama Bear? I thought you went to bed. You should be in bed, getting your sleep. I'm just irritated with my system, guys, and my just the experience alone. It shouldn't be like that. I struggle enough. I shouldn't have to deal with this too. I was going to bed until I heard the copter hovering, and this is it. So like, there's a helicopter and everything out. Is it like a news chopper, or is it police, or what is it? Do you know? We had you up on at least one phone. Maybe did this stuff. Honestly, Nikki, it doesn't. Don't worry about it, dear. I'm good. Do your thing. Get yourself better. That's what's important. Ms. Boone, hello, hello. My numbers went nuts. That's why I was like, what the heck? Where did everybody go? But again, like I said, I can't blame anybody if they did want to leave, because that was a really crappy in and out stream. So anyway, that was the story. Supposed to be the story of the Conjuring, folks. I hope what you could see of it you could enjoy. It's just embarrassing, guys. I'm so embarrassed. I want this to be the best experience for you guys that it could be, and it's not. So, police copter with spotlights on. Wait a minute. Police copter with spotlights on. I honestly thought it was popping in for coffee. It was that low. So they're looking for something from above. That's interesting. Right, Mama Bear? We knew. We've been calling this from the beginning, guys. We have been calling this from the beginning. Something. This is going to be big, guys. I don't care. I don't care. I'll be up all. I'll be live early. If I got to stay live all day until something happens in the morning, I'll do what I do. If something starts to roll with it, I'm going to, guys. I'm telling you. I had a feeling something like this was coming, and I'm telling you, I may be wrong. I may be wrong. I'm just making a prediction, folks. Embarrassing because my system's not working right, Nikki. That's why. And it was in and out and in and out. There's something going on with that. So that's why I'm embarrassed. But the helicopters are flying overhead, Boone, with the spotlight on in the area that Nikki lives in. So yeah, this is going to be huge, I think. And I'm just making a prediction. Don't quote me on this. This is a completely speculative prediction. That for whatever reason it's over in Skip, which is where Paul and Nikki live, Boone. My prediction is that somehow in some form that Miss Emma White is involved with this as well, guys. That's my prediction. And here's my thing. If I'm wrong on it, then I'm wrong on it, and I will sit right here and say I was wrong. My apologies, but I don't think I am. I really don't. No, Boone, it's over top of the area that Paul and Nicola Bully live in. With a spotlight over top of that area. So they're looking up above, down at something that they needed to light up. Yeah, I agree, Mama Bear. I do. I think we called this one, folks. I really think. I'm not going to jump too far ahead of myself, but I think we called it on this one. I do. Never did I think it was her at the park with her dog. Yes, Miss Mollycat, we do know that, or her sister. Well, if it wasn't for Pamela, I would have never put that together, thinking that it could have been Emma at the park or at the dog walk, whatever that's called there. As far as I know, I guess we're doing okay, Nikki. I can't tell that for sure until I see a doctor or something were to happen. I hate to say, but excuse me. At this point, I can't think about it because it stresses me out when I think about it. I get freaked out, and I just try to pray that I'm okay, that we're all okay, to be honest with you. So I just kind of stay away from that subject as much as I can because it freaks me out. I'll be honest with you. But this is a big deal going on, folks. And I cannot find nothing other than the whole thing about the internal investigation. There's nothing going on as of yet. Is there another news outlet, Pamela? Is there another news outlet that would be broadcasting this and it could be live at the same time? Do you know anything about that, Pamela? Ah, that's why did I not know? I knew that. I'm such an idiot. Yep. Pamela, be right back. I'll have to check on my informant. We got informants over here, folks. Nothing's on BBC right now. Nothing's on BBC. Hell, guys, if something breaks while I'm live, I will kill this stream and go live with a brand new one. Right here and now, right this moment. I'll shut up about the train thing, but I could go up for sure. No, listen, Boone, I understand, and I know you guys are worried for me, and I appreciate that. I really do. I just it freaks me out a bit for me and my family because I don't know what's going on. So I try not to talk about it and think about it. So that's what I'm saying. But I appreciate what you guys worrying about me and caring and all that kind of stuff. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't saying that I want you to shut up about it or anything like that. I try not to think about it at this point. Only because I don't know what the deal is. I'm hoping to think that I'm far enough out of the realm that it's not really going to affect me, that, all that we had to worry about. You're not stressing me out, hon. By any means are you stressing me out. You want to know what's stressing me out is my stupid computer and knowing that my RAM is probably screwed and that I can't afford to get new RAM for it, and that's what's been causing all these problems, and it's causing my internet to deflect. It's what it's doing. So in turn, it's looking like it's the internet when it's not. It's the RAM in it. So that being said, that's a whole different scenario. So I think that's a conspiracy with trains low enough and low income areas despite the suburbs nearby. I did send you a link on the train for chlorine work. I did. I seen it. Thank you. But yeah, you're not stressing me out. Nobody is with that, guys. I'm not thinking about it at this point because it freaks me out. That's all. Like I said, the thing that stresses me out is my stupid computer and the whole fact that it's not running right and I can't fix it the way I want to. I need a new one is what I need. That ain't going to happen because they're stupid expensive right now. So that's my problem with that. That's all, folks. That is all. Nothing yet, Pamela. No worries. Nope, not it.
Thanksgiving begins a very
That's the problem, Boone. That's the only problem, honestly. It's not the hard drive. I have a brand new hard drive in this one, Nikki. That was a whole other to do that I went through for months, but it's not the hard drive by any means. It's the RAM, and I don't have the money to pick up new RAM sticks to put in it. So and my computer's kind of dated, folks. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably going to end up being part of it. I need to get a new one. End of story. I just can't do it. That's all there is to it. I can't do it. And I hate for that to break me down and to shut me down and shut my channel down. That's gonna destroy me, folks. Just to let you know. I don't have this. I go. I will. I will go insane.
Hi, it's Joe Dora.
You guys see what I do. I do through it on a regular basis, so it's not plausible at this point, I guess you could say. I don't know what else to do at this point, to be honest with you. So do I. I do know, Nikki, because I do too. I look forward to it. I mean, it's my life, guys. This is what I do when I'm here. I love it, and I love being with you guys and hanging out and bringing you the news any way I can. I love our think tanks and all that. Just everything we do in here. I enjoy it so much, folks. And for me to have to shut down would not be good to me. It would not be good to me. So I don't know what the deal is. I'll have to look into it and find out, you know. And I got a lot more I need to do. That's the thing. Yeah, I don't see anything, folks, at this point. Well, guys, absolutely get yourself some sleep, Miss Pamela. You need it, that's for sure. My notification turned on for any updates. I will update ASAP, Joe. If I hear anything tonight, everyone, YouTube, Pamela, please do. Feel free. Even if I don't get it right away, I will get it. So go ahead. I appreciate you, Pam. So very much. Go get some sleep. Thank you for doing what you do for us. And you have a great rest of your night, my dear. Sorry, Boone. I get into my head and worry and things bother me, and that's what I do. I get quiet, so my apologies. Nothing against any of you guys. I'm sorry. Just worrying about what I'm going to do, that's all. So, folks, like I said, I hope it was enjoyable to some extent to you guys tonight. If you choose to, please hit the like button. Please leave me some kind of comments if you can, regardless. I know that, Boone. Believe me, I know that. Very much so. I love you guys to no end, folks. I really do. I appreciate everything you guys do to support me and the channel. So you guys have an amazing rest of your night. Mrs. M, thank you. Thank you for being here tonight. Like I said, I'm sorry it wasn't better. It just seems to be it doing its thing hardcore tonight. So I'm going to check into it tomorrow sometime. You guys, do me a favor and don't forget to love yourselves, love each other, and do not change any bit of who you are, because you are the beautiful people, folks. I love you guys so much. Thank you again. And I will see you all soon, everybody. Bye-bye. Good night, Popper. Thanks, bro. Speaking of which, I need to talk to you. Give me a call when you can, Popper. I got to ask you some questions about the whole RAM thing, because I know you know it. So I'll talk to you soon, bro. And everybody else, thank you once again. Moderators, great job. All you guys are amazing people, folks. And again, thanks so much for everything. What happened?